Hello everybody and welcome back, and right now we will try to configure our Burp Suite in order for us to make it as a proxy and in order for us to intercept our own requests, HTTP requests and responses. So the Burp Suite, which is a program that we will use, is already pre-installed in Kali Linux. So if you go on to the applications right here and you go on to the web application analysis, it should be the first one right here. So if this is the first time for you running it, it might ask you for a root password. You just type it in and you open up the Burp Suite. Now, another way that you can open it is through the command line. So here it will say that appears to be, it will basically just give us a message about the version. Just click here OK, it doesn't even matter what it says, and it should open up our Burp Suite. Now, I already configured my Burp Suite, so it works for me. Basically, I will just show you the process. We will need to configure some of the things in our Firefox and also some of the things in the Burp Suite in order to capture our packets. So here just click here on Next, use Burp Defaults, click here on Start Burp, and it should start in a few seconds. Now what I wanted to say is that you can also run it through a command line with a Burp... wait, let me just move this a little bit. With the Burp Suite, and it will just open up the same thing right here. Just, it will use your terminal for it. So you don't have to go to the applications and so on and so on. So as you can see right here, this is the Burp Suite. It is used, it has a bunch of options. It is used for us to intercept our own packets. Here we have some of the options such as HTTP history. Here we will have the websites that we visited in the current session. And here you have the intercept. Here you have the option that the intercept is on and intercept is off. Now, before I cover all of these options, I just want to show you what you need to do in order to get this to work. So what you want to go to is go to the proxy, which is the second one from the top, from the right, pardon me, second one from the left. And then below that you want to go to the options. So proxy and then options. Here we are interested in the proxy listeners part, where you will have by default this 127.0.0.1 on port 8080, which is listening on 8080 on a local host. Now what you want to do is select that one and basically just click here on the edit, and it should open up this small window where you want to specify the bind to port to be 8080, and here you can just basically you can put here all interfaces or loopback only. I leave it on loopback only, and you can also specify a certain address. So for example, my current IP address of this virtual machine is 192.168.1.6, but I will leave it on localhost and on loopback only, since I will specify that proxy in my Firefox as well. So just click here on the OK, so port 8080, loopback only 127.0.0.1, click here on OK. And now what we want to do is go to our Firefox. So open up your web browser, and where you want to go is basically here on the right, these three lines, open menu, and go to the preferences. Now under the preferences you want to go to the general, which is already opened right here by default. You want to scroll all the way down and find the network proxy. So here we can see configure how Firefox connects to the internet. What we want to do is basically make our Firefox connect to the internet through our Burp Suite. So click here on the settings and it should open up this small window. By default it should be set on no proxy. What you want to do is change that to be set on the manual proxy configuration. So once you check that, I believe since you didn't configure it before, it should have only the first one, which is HTTP proxy, set on 127.0.0.1 on port 8080. Now what you want to do, what you want to do is all of these four you want to set on the same settings, which is basically even the SSL, even the FTP, even the SOCKS host. You want to set all of these four onto the IP address of your local host, which is 127.0.0.1, And all of those 4 want to be set on the port 8080. Once you set all of these 4 to be exactly the same, you want to check here SOX v5. It should be checked by default, but if it is not, check here SOX v5. Once you do that, click here on OK, and you should be good to go. So if we click here settings again, we can see that now our manual configuration proxy is set on the local host. Now, if you go right here and try to search google.com, for you, first of all, it won't work for you. It should say something like, I'm not really sure, but it should say insecure connection or something like that. Basically, it won't let you connect to google.com. But if you, for example, go to an HTTP website, which I'm not really sure, let me just find any HTTP website. Do I have anything saved? Well, we have our web application, which is not HTTPS, so you should be able to connect to any HTTP website, but you will not be able to connect to any HTTPS website. Now, if you typed here any HTTP website and it is loading on forever, what you want to do is go to your Burpsuite and make intercept off. So if your intercept is on, like it is right now for me, it won't let you load any page, since it will wait for you to forward or drop the packet. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. If I refresh this page right here, you will see that this will load forever. It will never load the page. And in the Burpsuite, we can see that it basically gave us some of the HTTP header, request header, for this website, which is just my virtual machine, my OWASP vulnerable machine, and it will ask me if I want to drop this packet, which means to discard it, or to forward that packet to that machine. Now, if I forward it, and I open right here once again, let me just open up my Firefox, you can see that now it loaded the page, because I forwarded the package. Now, if you have that checked on, which means the intercept is on, you want to make it off so you can load the page without forwarding every package. So just click here and make sure that the intercept is off. And now if I try to reload the page once again, it will reload it normally and open the page. Now, we want to also make sure that we can load our HTTPS websites. For me it works, but for you it won't work until you install in your Firefox a Burpsuite CA certificate. Basically, we need to install the Burpsuite certificate in our Firefox in order for our Firefox to look Burpsuite as a trusted proxy source. So in order to do that, first of all, make sure your Burpsuite is running. Make sure that you configured the preferences in Firefox. Let me just go once again right here. So make sure that this is the same as mine. Make sure the Burpsuite is running. If it's not running, this won't work. You won't be able to download the certificate. And once this is the same as mine, and once you run the Burpsuite and the intercept is off, you want to go and open up a new tab and type here HTTP and then burp. Just that. So once you type that, it will lead you to this page where it will say Burpsuite Community Edition. Welcome to Burpsuite Community Edition. What you want to go on here is on the CA certificate and click on it. It will ask you if you want to download this file, you want to save it. Yes, so the file is 973 bytes, so it's not that large. You just click here on the save, and once it downloads, you find where you saved it. Let's just find it. I already have one downloaded, so I have it right here. You will only have one of these. So once you find that, you want to go to your Burpsuite, you want to go to your Firefox, again to the preferences, but instead of going to the network proxy settings, we want to go onto the privacy and security settings. So once you're there, once you're at the privacy and security settings, what you want to do is basically scroll down and find the certificates. It should be, maybe they're all the way down. Yeah, there they are. So here are the certificates, and you want to go onto the View Certificates. Once this window opens up, it will show you a bunch of the certificates that are already in your Firefox web browser. Now what you want to do is import the already downloaded certificate that we downloaded from this website, which is HTTP Burp. How we do that? Well, basically we just go onto the import right here, so click on the import and find where this file is saved for you. I already imported it, so I won't be importing it twice. Here it is. Just click on the file and click on the open, and once it does that, click on the OK, and you should be good to go. Now after that, if you type google.com once again, it should be loading the HTTPS websites as well as the HTTP websites. Now if this didn't work, make sure once again that the Burpsuite is running, or this will not work. Make sure that all of these options are already set as mine, and you should be good to go. Now once we made this work for HTTP and HTTPS, now we can track all of the packets going through our own Burpsuite. As we can see right here, if I go into the target, it will give me a list of all the hosts that I've already visited. As we can see right here, these are just a bunch of the HTTP request packets that I sent in order to visit my virtual machine, which is on the IP address of 192.168.1.9. Now in the next tutorial I will show you some of these packets, how you can configure them, how you can change them, and all of that, and where you can find all the websites that you visited and specific packet if you search for it. But for now on, just make sure that your Burpsuite works, and that when you visit a website, so let me just show you once again, let's visit facebook.com. It should open up the Facebook page, and it should also have here a bunch of other Facebook domains opened. As you can see, the page that you requested will be the darker letters than the ones that it automatically searched for in order to get to your Facebook page. And we can see right here, this is our Facebook page and the HTTP requests that we got from it. So I will make sure to explain the requests and responses better in the next video, and until then I hope you're having a great day and take care.